The government is not responsible for creating jobs. Additional. According to Additional, welcome to the news, and please subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post our juicy news updates. Please click on the notification bell. As I'm reading this, I'm asking a question, okay, if the government is not responsible for creating jobs, who is now responsible? The news is detailed, please. The special advisor to President Muhammadu Buhari on media and publicity, Adesina stated this in an interview on Arise Television on Tuesday. Speaking on the achievements of Buhari in the last 8 years, Adesina noted that all the government does is create an enabling environment for creating jobs, while the private sector creates jobs. On President Buhari's promise to create 3 million jobs annually in 2015, Adesina said, "Did you say 3 million was the promise?" I wouldn't say he put a figure. What I recall was that the President Buhari gave the percent of joblessness in the country. I wouldn't recall that he gave a specific figure to the number of jobs we are creating. For all you know, that may have come from anywhere. Regard as it may, it is the job and duty of a government to create an enabling environment for jobs in the country. It is not the government itself that creates the jobs. All it does is to create an enabling environment, he said. Adesina, however, noted that Buhari has achieved in all sectors including oil and gas, infrastructure, legislative matters and security. He said most of the jobs you need in the country would come from the private sector. As long as you have an enabling environment, it is the private sector that will create the jobs. Now, I am here asking, I beg. Okay, let's agree with what Adesina is saying, that the government will just create the enabling environment. I beg, did the government create an enabling environment? If I tell you, if we do a research and look at the number of business that folded under this administration, big businesses, small businesses, medium enterprises, I kid you not, many of them folded. It's no jokes. So see, the thing is, if you are saying it is the duty of the government not to create jobs, but to create an enabling environment, that is indirectly they are involved in the job creation. And if they fail to create an enabling environment, which means they have failed to create jobs. The private sector are not the ones to make the environment enable, right? The government have to create economic stability in the country for the private sector to be able to thrive. And this is what we want in the country. Nobody is even wanting, see, if there is an enabling environment or economy that is thriving, where the pepper seller is thriving in a business, the big organization is thriving in their company, they're making profits. The barrel pusher is making. Then you can now talk about having an enabling environment. But where the pepper seller is almost on a daily basis, it be like say she dey borrow to do her business. She's not, all those people they feed from hand to mouth. The enablement, the economy is not stable. It's not thriving. In fact, if you ask me, I would say the economic situation of Nigeria has decayed, has sunk into an abyss where the incoming administration will need to tie in wrapper well. No be that style. You know how far as they don't tie wrapper, they tie and firm. No be that way say you go tie, you go can't lose. They need to tie this wrapper well because they have to work. If you are coming in, it is just like, is it indirectly now? It is like indirectly you are saying, the government will have to do this for this one. That means if they don't do it, jobs will not be created. Abi, that is exactly what we are talking about. Please, which of the private sectors, the ones who chased away from Nigeria because of the terrible business environment, thank you. Without electricity or the private business you created, okay, without electricity, or is it the private businesses you created siphoning Nigeria's treasury? That is it. The thing is, whether you like it or not, it still lands, the box still lands on their court. The ball is still in their court. If you are saying it's an enabling environment, create an enabling environment. And when we talk about businesses in Nigeria, remember I told you that all businesses in Nigeria, I don't care what to do. Whether you are a pap seller, you need electricity. You need electricity to store your pap, right? And you need to put them in the refrigerator, or should I say the freezer or the fridge, to keep it cold. Even if that is what you do, there is hardly any business in Nigeria that you are not going to say you need electricity. You must need, and only that one alone. That is a very what's it called, deciding factor to a lot of businesses. Is that particular sector stable? The power sector, it is not stable. Should I talk about the economic sector? That one is no-go area. So if you are coming out to say, it is not really the distance, and I am also laughing in Spanish when he said, Buhari did not say he's going to produce 3 million jobs. Now you want to come and tell us at the end of your tenure what in Buhari talk and what in no talk. I don't blame on our question for there. It's not your fault. Sincerely, it is not your fault. Because had it been, say, Nigerian, we know they tolerate all this kind of nonsense. Because to me, this is absolute rubbish. You come as I come, they tell us, say, the 3 million jobs we didn't talk. You go, they talk this thing. You know where they talk this thing. Had it been, say, Nigeria, they tolerate. Now, because Nigeria, they tolerate nonsense in the name of being tolerant. If you don't tolerate this kind of people in government, most especially this kind of leaders, if you know they tolerate them, then you don't get the message loud and clear. Rantings from a confused, shameless political terrorist and a morbid sycophant. What is the government responsible for in Nigeria? Don't we see how governments in other society create jobs, build infrastructure and galvanize development for their people? Government in Nigeria only steal money. They excel in official corruption, political terrorism, religious terrorism, ethnic terrorism, election brigandry, and other nefarious activities. And today, this person just gave them a rundown of what they do. That is what they do. Doomsday is fast approaching for political terrorists who impoverish Nigeria. And that is what the government does. This sitting government, I hardly see any of them, these as people who are part of this administration, do things rightly. You can never see them. Useless and cheap gossiper. With your age, then why are you eating from the government? Okay. So the private sector provides job while the federal government will embezzle our money and remain innocent. Citizens, I don't even understand what this person is saying. This is one of the unfortunate persons that have discouraged Buhari not to create jobs in Nigeria. Because to me, whether okay, fine, let us accept that okay, it is not the government that will create the jobs. Fine, no problem. But the government will put, or according to him, is going to create an enabling environment which the government failed to create. So in essence, the government did not still create the jobs because they did not create the enabling environment for the jobs to be created. He's merely playing the script of political terrorists who employed him. This is fast approaching for political terrorists who impoverish Nigeria with their rabbit-stealing penchant. Thanks to Peter, Obi, and Dati Ahmed for showing us that a new Nigeria devoid of political terrorism is achievable. Nigerians shall be free. It's a matter of time. Alright, on this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.